Hello everyone, if you're watching the replay, I'm going to be doing a mini album tutorial and I am live, so I might wait a minute or so to see if anybody joins, and if not, or either way, I'll just continue on in like a minute. So you may want to fast forward if you are watching the replay. So we'll just give people a couple minutes. And the mini album I'm going to be doing is actually a 6 3/4 by 6 3/4 mini album. Hi, Sassy. How are you? It's good to chat with you. So I did a video this morning picking out some paper that I'm using, and it is called the English Rose Garden by Recollections. And boy, is it real dicey for you, Sassy? Like the picture, is it real pixely? I hope not. It's kind of looking like that to me. But anyway, so the English Rose Garden collection is what I'm going to be using. I'm making 2 mini albums for my nieces, which are both graduating. Oh, the 8x8 that she did. Yeah, that is a nice interactive one. I watched that. She did a really good one. The, is it pixely? I don't know how to fix that. I think it's because I'm at my parents' house and I'm on their Wi-Fi. I may have to restart and go just on my regular data. Let me do that. Sorry, Sassy. I'm gonna shut it down and then I will restart it just using my regular data. So sorry about that. I'll be right back. Or actually, I wonder if it'll let me do that. Let me see if I can do it without disconnecting. Okay. All right. Okay, I think it's better now. Well, we'll see here in a minute. It's really delayed. Okay, yeah, it's better. I think that was the issue. So let me just, there we go. Let me just adjust my screen a little bit. Okay, good. All right, so we'll do it this way. Sorry, I'm moving all around. Okay, so I've already designed this morning the album. I'm making 2 of them. So I'm going to do one as a tutorial, but it's a 6 3/4 by 6 3/4. It has 4 pages. And you can see I've already made the cover and I've made all the pages. I just haven't matted these yet, but that's what we're going to do, is construct the cover and all the pages with the interactions. So I'll just flip through the interactions real quick so you kind of know what we're making. And hi, Fiona. So on page 1, we have a flap coming down and a flap going up, and then we have a pocket. And then on pages 2 and 3, and again, these just aren't matted, and these are what we're going to construct. This opens both ways, and then this opens to the top, and there's just a small little pocket on the corner here. And the same thing for page 3, except it just goes the other way. It opens side to side, and then the whole thing opens to the side rather than up. And there is a little pocket. And then on pages 4 and 5, this opens this way, and then it also opens that way, and then the whole thing will open up. And over here, this one will open this way and out that way. and the whole thing will open up. So some of them I've already put my magnets in, some of them I haven't. And then on 6 and 7, this one opens up, it opens down to the left and to the right. And if that weren't enough, it also opens the whole thing to the left. Thanks. And then on the page 7, it opens to the left, to the right, down and up. And then the whole thing opens to the right. And then the last page, page 8, we just have this closure flap, and then it opens up and down. And that's it for page 8. And I have an idea for something new that I'm going to try on the inside back cover. On the inside front cover, I haven't decided yet. So, oh, thanks, Sassy. All right, so that is what we're going to be making, because I am making 2 of these. I designed this morning, and now I'm prepared to do a tutorial so that we can make this together. So here we go. And I figure, you know, if somebody, you know, wants to watch the replay or whatever, I have all the measurements here. So we'll go through those, and that way they can just pause the screen, or, you know, pause the video. All right, so we'll get to the covers and the spine in a few minutes, but we're going to start with our base pages. So the covers and spine, it's 6 3/4 by 6 3/4 square. The base pages are 6 1/4 by 6 1/4 square, because I always like to go a 1/2 inch less than the cover. That's just kind of my rule of thumb. And so in this album, I'm making 4 pages. So I need 4 cut at 6 1/4 by 6 1/4. And then I also need 4 cut at 6 1/4 by 7 1/4. Oh, good. Yeah, of course, Sassy and Fiona. Yep, it's good to have these measurements. And like I said, you can rewatch it and pause or whatever you need to do. I hope my screen didn't. Okay, good. All right. So here's one of them. You know, I've already done it. And it's the basic base page. So when it goes on the hinge, it goes like that. And we have a pocket for a photo mat. Okay. We're making 4 of these. So let me show you. I've already got 3 made. So I just need to make 1 more. So I'm going to show you how I do that. Here's my 6 1/4 by 6 1/4. Here is my 6 1/4 by 7 1/4. It's an inch longer. And the reason we do that is I'll show you why. So you're going to put the 7 1/4 inch at the top of your scoreboard, and you're going to score at a 1/2 inch. And then at 6 3/4 of an inch. So basically it's a 1/2 inch on either side. Okay. And then what we'll do is we will fold those over and burnish them real well. Oh, by the way, for my cardstock, I am using the Recollections 110 pound black cardstock, an 8.5 by 11. I used to use 65 weight pound, which is totally fine. Perfectly fine to do that. We're going to miter the corners, which I just go from the score line up at an angle like this. I hope I'm showing that okay. And we do it to all 4 of them. It just reduces the bulk a little bit, and I think it makes a cleaner look. Anyway, so 65 pound weight is fine. But once I switch to 110 pound weight for my base pages and my interactions and stuff, it's just really, really sturdy, and I prefer it. So that's why I'm using that. I wouldn't wrap my chipboard in this thick of paper because it may crack on you. So, are you doing on your phone? Videoing it? Yeah, I always video on my phone. Oh, I just have oh my gosh, I just have one of the iPhone 6s. I think. I've had it for quite a while. Hey, Tea Friday, how are you? Hope you're doing good. Okay, so then what we're gonna do is take the 6 1/4 by 6 1/4 and see how we made these little flaps, right? Well, we're basically gonna glue them down like this, and that's what will give us, you know, hole all the way through. Okay, so we'll do that next. Good, I'm glad you're doing good. You have 5S. Oh, thank you. Teresa, I've been crafting. I just haven't been able to, unfortunately, spend a lot of time on videos. So yeah, it's nice. I'm glad I have the time now. Okay, so I'm just going to glue this down here. It doesn't matter because it's a square, so you can't mess it up when it's a square. I always tell my subscribers that if you are new to making mini albums, my suggestion is to start with a square versus a rectangle. It's just that it just is the math and everything's a little bit easier. So yeah, I don't know if you saw, Therese, where is my big honkin'? I did a video on a baby girl mini album, and oh my gosh, that one took me a long time to do. But I did finish it, so I was happy about that. Okay, and then what you'll do is just glue the other side. Just make sure everything's lined up. And you'll attach it to the other side. You just want it to be flush. And if it's not, you don't have to worry because you can trim off. If you didn't score it exactly right, we can trim a little off. So it's not a big deal. And so that's a base page. And that way you have the hole on this side and at the top it goes all the way through. Mine is sideways, but I have the video on landscape versus portrait, which is better. So landscape is what you want it, Sassy. Okay, so here's our base pages. We have all 4 now, okay? So we have our 4 pages, but really it's 8 pages, right? Because it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, right? So let's start on that construction. And I got them all ready for you. So like I said, you can pause the, you know, like if you watch the replay, you can pause the video and everything. So let's get this organized. Okay. Just so it makes it a lot easier for you guys, hopefully. Okay, so for page 1, here are our measurements. We are going to cut one piece at 6 1/4 by 6 3/4. We're going to cut one piece at 6 1/4 by 4 1/2, and one piece at 7 1/4 by 3 1/2. And I've also wrote on here where you would score it, but I'll show you since I'm doing that with you. Okay, so let's start with the 6 1/4 by 6 3/4, that piece. We are going to put the 6 3/4 side, make sure I get this right. Yeah, 6 3/4 side at the top of our scoreboard, and we're going to score it 1/2 inch. And that's it on this piece. Very simple. You're welcome, Sassy. And then we're going to take the 6 1/4 by 4 1/2, and we're going to score 1/2 inch on the 4 1/2 inch side. Okay, so you put the 4 1/2 inch side at the top of your scoreboard and then score it 1/2 inch. Oh, I actually wanted to do it this way, sorry. Okay, so we got that piece. And then the last piece is 7 1/4 by 3 1/2. It's going to be a pocket. So what we're going to do is we're going to score it at 1/2 inch on the 3 1/2 inch side at the top of our scoreboard. And then basically you just rotate it 90 degrees, and on either side you want to score it at 1/2 inch. Okay, so 1/2 inch and at 6 3/4 of an inch. And that way we just have 1/2 inch on these 3 sides to form our pocket. Okay, so now we will burnish on all of our score lines fold it over rather and burnish, and then we'll get moving on putting the construction together. So we haven't moved yet, Therese. We were at my parents' house right now. We were waiting for our new place to get ready, and I just found out yesterday it's taken a lot longer than they thought, and we're not 100% sure on that place, so we don't know yet. So we may be moving into a different place. So, oh, I know, it's, yeah. But luckily, we're with my mom and dad, and that's been great. So we're very lucky, very fortunate. So, okay, so I folded over and burnished on all sides. So let's grab one of our base pages. So now, make sure with your base pages, oh, I know, right? The craft room is the first to organize. You're no joke. Before the bathroom, kitchen, and everything. Gotta have my craft room. Anyway, okay, so let's look at our base page. We want your openings to go on the sides, okay? Because one is going to go on a hinge. So make sure you're not doing it this way, because then how do I want to say this? The interactions wouldn't work correctly because it's supposed to be this way. So be aware of where the hole is, okay? So starting with that, what we are going to do is I'm going to put the pocket in first. So all I do is I'm just going to miter the corners again, but see how your lines intersect here? I don't know if you can see that when we did the scoring. I'm just going to go, I'm basically cutting this little box out, but I'm going in at an angle and out at an angle. So that's how I do that. And then at the top, I also miter the corner as well. Okay, and so that's the pocket. While I'm mitering, I'm just gonna go ahead and do the other ones too. So on this flap, we will go ahead and miter the corners, real simple. And then also on this one. Okay. All right, so now let me just get rid of these little bits here. So what have you guys been working on? How's everybody doing? I hope well. Okay, so the way that I do my pockets, everybody has their own way, right? But what works best for me, I use wet adhesive because I don't want, if I use double-sided tape, which you can, sometimes your tags or whatever could stick in there. So I always use wet adhesive. And what I do first is I take a little bit and I just put it down here at this bottom corner, and then I flap the bottom over. So that's the side, bottom side that I put it on. Excuse me, and then I flap the bottom flap over and hold it for just a minute or a few seconds. And then I do the same to the other side. There's a reason I do this. For me, it's because, I guess because I'm awkward or something, but it's easier for me to have these adhered right now and then put all the glue around and place it down. Otherwise, if I do glue here, here, and here, and they're not adhered down, sometimes I get it all over the place. So that's why I do it that way. So, oh, a file folder flip book. I did one of those a while back. I did a video on it if you're interested. That's awesome. I would love to see it. And little stuff. Oh, yeah, you need to. Oh, you did finish your mom's album today? Oh, that's wonderful. I know you've been working really, really hard on that. Oh, she's going to love it. I'm sure she'll just love it. Okay. So now I just put glue, not inside the pocket like I just did. There we go. On all three of those sides. And make sure, again, this is to your left and right. And at the bottom, just line it up and put your pocket down. Those file flip books are a lot of fun to make. Oh my gosh, Fiona, I'm so sorry. Oh, I hope you're doing okay. Yeah, you need to just watch YouTube and rest, right? Poor thing. That's awful. I'm sorry to hear that. Okay, so we've got our pocket, and then I gotta look at my my page here as a reference because I can't remember what I did. That's why I had to make my designs first. So yeah, I just did the smaller ones on the bottom top. Okay, I know what I'm doing. Okay, so this is going to go on the bottom, the smaller flap. We have 2 flaps. We have the one that's 6 1/4 and this shorter one. So the shorter one's going to go down here. We're just going to put glue on the bottom here and adhere it to the bottom of the pocket like that. Okay? So I'll do that real quick. Now remember, you can round your corners. You can use a die cut, like a border edge. That'd be pretty, you know, anything you want to do. These albums I'm making, I think they'll be really cute. They're for my nieces, and I'm on a little bit of a time crunch. So I am making them pretty, but, you know, pretty simple. Just easy interactions, pretty straightforward stuff. Okay, now on the top one, which will go underneath the short flap like that. I believe I did round the corner on that one. So let me just get my corner rounder. Again, you don't have to. You can do whatever you want. Okay. All right. So what we're going to do is put glue on our flap, on the outside of our flap. I'm going to turn this around and you're going to place it. This is the top right here. Okay. So I'm going to do that real quick. Okay, and again, when you're doing this the way I do it, I have to have it facing me, so that's what, like, this is the top, but I'm going to just turn it around because it's easier, and then I just try to line up my corners, and then push it down and make sure everything is flush. And then when I go lay it down, I try to make sure my sides, I just want to make sure everything is straight. I hope that makes sense. Okay, and then burnish it really, really well. Burnish, burnish, burnish. Okay. All right, so the way this one is designed is this flap will be down here and the shorter flap will go over the top flap, okay? Now, I am using magnets and things, but you don't have to. You could certainly, as closures, you could put ribbon and tie a bow here, you know, after you put your paper on, and then that could release it, or you could use magnets. You could actually put a swing tab in. It's whatever you prefer. At this point, I don't do my closures until I'm done constructing all my interactions. Then I go back and I do my closures prior to putting on, or some of them are prior to matting the paper and some are after. It depends on what type of closure I'm using. I am pixeling again. Oh, I hope not for very long. It's working okay, I think, so far on my side, but sorry about that. All right, so that was page 1. So now we're going to do page 2 and page 3. And I've designed this so that these pages work really well together. I didn't look the same size, did it? Hold on. Oh, no, that's right. What's this? Yeah, that's right. Okay. It is fuzzy. Hold on a second. I think... Why is this not working? Ah! Can you guys hear me? It's all locked up. You can hear me, Fiona? Okay, because for some reason it's just locked up. Like I don't know why it's doing that. My screen, yeah, it's frozen. Dang it. I hate having these issues. Yeah, it's frozen. I don't know what to do. Well, oh, dang it. Let's see. Enable flash mute microphone cancel. Trying to see if there's something I can do to, I don't know why it's frozen. You guys, I know, love YouTube. No, my phone's not full. What I'm going to have to do, I hate this. I'm going to have to shut this live down and start a new live. And it's really a bummer because if people watch the replay, they're going to, it's going to be a hassle. But that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to shut this one down and then I'll restart a new one. Sorry about that, everybody.